Ladies and gentlemen, Kuzangpo and good afternoon from the beautiful RTC artificial turf nestled among the hills and once again ready to host what promises to be one of the most intriguing fixtures of the Bhutan Premier League season. The international break is over, the waiting is over, and now attention returns to the domestic game. It is a battle for second place. RTC FC against DRUKPA, a fixture that just a few weeks ago few would have expected to carry such significance, because DRUKPA FC have been one of the stories of the season, promoted into the top flight with ambition, but perhaps not many predictions placing them among the league's early frontrunners. And yet here they are, 7 points from 4 matches, victories over established opposition, an unbeaten start that stretched longer than many expected, only recently halted by a surprise 1-0 defeat against Serang, a result that served as a reminder that every team in this league is capable of causing problems, but one defeat does not erase what they have achieved. They remain second in the standings right now behind BFF Academy, who are up at 10 points. And today offers them the perfect opportunity to prove that the Tirang result was merely a stumble, not the beginning of a decline. But standing opposite them is a side beginning to rediscover its footing, RTC FC. Royal Thimphu College, a team whose season has been difficult to define, at times brilliant, at times frustrating, but after returning to winning ways before the break, they arrived today with 6 points and momentum beginning to build once more. And here is their starting lineup. Denrup Gelson, Denrup Namge on goal as always. Ishik Gelson, their captain at 28. Nongente Nathaniel Tete back in the starting lineup. Number 7, Pema Zangpo, Vampire 8, Kinza Tenzin 11. Uganderju 12, Chikdrilwanchu 13, Jimmy Namgel 14, Abdul Majid Shamate and Sangi Eze, the starting 11 for the home side up at RTC. RTC right now chasing the second spot. They do have 6 points right now. A win here today will put them up ahead at 9 points. But the defending side for DRUKPA will be Sachin Jha on goal and Min Shin, the giant, back where he belongs in the starting line. I haven't seen him in a long while. His partnership with Punta Jimmy Bella, the captain, number 18, Devo Thokpam and Woo Gyong Yun in the backline. A solid threat, intimidating presence for any team. Completing the midfield, it is Kilnerabge, Philip Eugene, and their new signing, Fahad Timuri, 77. They do have a couple of interesting names. One more in the bench and one more in the starting lineup. Chong Lee, 34, Matthew Musab, back as always, and Karma Jamso Tashi. Their top scorer right now had that wizardry with that hat-trick in the second half early on, as DRUKPA FC looked to chase the 3 points that set them back and behind BFF Academy. So as the players emerge onto this magnificent artificial surface surrounded by the scenic backdrop that makes this one of the most unique venues in Bhutanese football, the stakes are clear. Second place early on in the season race is on the line. Momentum is on the line. And perhaps most importantly of all, a chance to prove that their ambitions belong among the very best in the league. Momentum and pride is up high for RTC. Their women's side yesterday, if you follow the Women's National League as well, scored an astonishing 25 goals against the United Finsling side, which were struggling with lack of presence from their players. Had to put together a rag and tack team at the end, but have to respect their grit. Did turn out to play, but amidst that chaos, half a dozen goals in the first half, 13 more in the second, and stakes couldn't be much higher. Hat-tricks came from all corners, even some Gaki Palzom. A surprising hat-trick, but in brilliant fashion and clinically earned. Hopefully the men's side will be looking to do the same. RTC men's did have a quiet stretch, started off strong with the victory 4-0 against Tensung, but form dropped. It was 2-0 against Thimphu. It was a 4-0 defeat at home against Paro FC, but they did bounce back in an astonishing face-up against Coach Rolo and Thimphu City. They did get a magnificent 1-0 victory over here at Changlemetang, but that was before the break. The boys from RTC led by their captain Ishi Gelson, did take part in Bhutan's international campaign. Mirroring him from DRUKPA, it was also Funsa Jimmy Bella present in that centre-back position early on. Do not believe he started in the second, but did get to start in the first. They played that 3-2-3-2 formation as we await the Warriors stepping down on the field, ready to make their intent and purposes clear, their vision for this season obvious for the ground. Again, the referees for today, it is Pema Tewang, assisted by Kilimpenjo and Tandin Sering, the fourth official for today, as we have the walkout from the 22 that will be facing off today. A beautiful weather up at RTC. Did have some shades of clouds early on, but right now it is the sun we are seeing, and hopefully it continues on for the rest 90 minutes as we await the national anthem to kick things off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kusampu, and welcome back again. That was the national anthem as we have on screen DRUKPA FC in purple and RTC in their home blue and white. Again, so far both teams looking solid. This has been one of the most competitive seasons we've had possibly ever. From top down to bottom, all teams within a win or two. Bottom place, it is Thimphu FC and Ungan Academy with 3 points to their name. Right up ahead, it is 4, 5, 6, 7 points with only BFF Academy clear of the rest, the mid-table. 10 points, 3 wins, 1 draw, still unbeaten, but they do have solid challenges lined up. It is up against Paro FC and Thimphu City, their fixtures for this round. As for DRUKPA FC, they are tied in second and third between Paro FC. 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, the same record between the two, but simply up ahead due to the head-to-head record. Next up is a 3-way tie at 6 points. Transport United, Tsirang FC and RTC FC right at the 6th place position, which means that if they end up getting the 3 points here today, they will clear themselves off DRUKPA FC and Paro FC and move in right behind BFF Academy, which has been the story of the season. 10 points, still undefeated. But hopefully we do see a challenge come their way. The youngsters have been flying high, but looking to challenge their throne. DRUKPA FC, RTC FC, everything at stake today. Do let me know which teams you think will come out on top. And do let me know which team you are rooting for this season.
Do I bring the chair as well?
So with the whistle for kickoff, it is RTC to start. Back again with domestic action after the struggles. Bhutan's Dragons faced in their campaigns. It was a 4-0 defeat. It was a 4-1 defeat. The brightest spots in those matches coming from the academy talents. In fact, Chinle is a constant threat and one of the most promising individuals we saw in those matches. The only goal scorer, I believe, was Dodo as well, Rinzindwachi, the captain of the under-20 side from BFF Academy. But it was no shortage of heroics from the captains from both sides today. Nice to see Bella has been improving steadily, has shown his talents and his commitment, his consistency as well throughout the BoB BPL. Deservedly got that call up. Chigdral on screen. The hero from last match, RTC against Timber City, did try to sort out a lot of positions. It was the captain playing up ahead of his typical centre-back position as more of a midfielder. And Jigdral, typically a guy you expect to see on the wings, posted up right in the middle. Did have a shaky first half, but one brilliant possession, all it took to get their only goal and the only one they needed to get those 3 points. But on the other hand, DRUKPA FC, a lot of typical starters on the bench. Barun Kangemam, 24, on the bench. Leon Sullivan-Taylor not starting. John Miles Flynn, typically do not see him start, but should expect a debut for him sometime in this match soon. Also, there does seem to be a change in the starting lineup for DRUKPA FC last minute. Matthew Musa, 31, has been taken out of the starting 11, and it is Yeshiwanchu, in fact, who has been brought in. So our sincerest apologies, but that information is just now coming in. Seems like there was an unfortunate incident last minute for DRUKPA. But Yeshe again is a phenomenal talent in and of himself by any standard. Throughout their qualifiers as Namla FC, he was one of the key contributors to their rise alongside then star forward Kinchitopke or Nyakam. Had a hat-trick, had a goal, had a lot of assists towards number 7 as well. So far we have seen the same impact from 66 throughout DRUKPA FC's actual campaign up in the actual BoB Bhutan Premier League. So should not really expect a drop in performance. There on screen, 77, new signing for DRUKPA FC, Fahad Timuri, alongside a couple other names as well. We do have Rehan Rajiv donning 88, this time on the bench. Chong Lee, 34, up front. Haven't seen Jibin Lee in a while, but typically does not start for DRUKPA. So looking forward to see what the new signings for DRUKPA are looking like. As for RTC, they do not have Sardar Jakhanov nor Saeed Jamal in their starting 11. Sardar is in the bench, but no information with regards to Saeed Jamal as the first touches for Fahad Timuri. Compact, disciplined defense there from RTC, leaving no room up front, in fact, for Philip Eugene, and it will roll right back out to Den Namgyal. Again, given the quality of the defensive personnel RTC has, it is quite easy to miss the heroic efforts of their goalkeeper, but he has been one of the most underrated performers of the entirety of the league so far. Den Namgyal. Not many flashy stuff from him, but he has been making steady and silent saves after saves, which has been a pleasure to see. Abdul Majid in that back line. Ishigelton again this time around playing up front. the second match in a row, but he has been solid, which has been a surprising case. Typically, you would expect somebody playing out of position to struggle, but he has the ability, given his stature, to facilitate from that deep, and reliably has he done it so far. It's Fahad. Stolen off. RTC, Nathaniel Tete did not get to see him start in that devastating loss against Paro. Was an important match, and RTC decided to field an entirely local lineup in the starting 11. Did hear that there was some sort of drama that stopped them from fielding the fullest of their lineups. But nice to see that it does seem to have alleviated a little bit, as DRUKPA FC get a throw in the other way around. Early on, DRUKPA FC, very explosive, a team that always went on the attack. But in their last couple of matches, you do see them dropping deep, baiting those challenges from those other teams, waiting for them to poke right in until they can launch off a counter-attack. Did that against Sirang. Unfortunate for them, did not turn out the way they wanted. But again, that is the beauty of the game of football that we've come to know and love. Minchin, one of the tallest players throughout the entirety of the league. His partnership with Kunsa Jimmy Bella, lethal in the first couple of games, but since he was taken off due to injury concerns, Woo Kyung-yun, who typically plays on that wing, has made a solid impact covering for the otherwise lack of stature and physical presence. Back the other way, Abdul Majid Shamate. Well, a lot of support from the crowd. It is RTC's home ground, but again, one of the most vocal, one of the most disruptive crowds have been in support of DRUKPA FC. Did have an instance against Timber City where they did get a couple of red cards. The audience as well got a couple of warnings from the referee for throwing a bottle at Organ from Timber City, who was celebrating right in front of their crowd. But back the other way, sharp delivery inside, but Sachin Jha will take a bit more than that to beat the goalkeeper for DRUKPA. When he's in form, inarguably, unanimously one of the best goalkeepers of the league. His feats, his acrobatic saves, frequently haven't been rivaled yet. Might be a little bit biased here, but he did make me lose my voice once early on in DRUKPA FC's campaign. As this time, the vision there saw that run from that left flank. The brilliant positioning from the backline of RTC got right in the way of that pass, and it is back with Abdul Majid Shamate. RTC looking solid, jig drill. Deep position, it is Vampire off the cleanup from Minchin. Deft delivery, far out and wide. Nathaniel Tete gets it right at the end of the line. Fahad, solid hustle from the new signing, forces that pass back. Naoyantin got one start early on. Do believe it is his second start for RTC's campaign. It's Bella. Isha Kelson. Well, the ground balls are not working, and as such, both teams resorting to a more primitive level of play. Ambitious in the hopes that someone will get at the end of that ball, as Chiminamgya. Brilliant bit of footwork, gets that shot off. Too much whip on it, will roll far out and wide. Brilliant effort there to get that space for himself for that shot. But again, too early on, will need a bit more calibration on that. There was that brilliant move that got him past Minchin, but recovered by Pema Zangpo. And there again, the second possession, no mistakes, but simply off in terms of getting that shot towards the goalposts. The first game back for Minchin in a while. Will need a bit more getting used to. And especially against RTC, which are one of the most capable, physically capable teams in the league right now. It will be a true test to see if the centre-back has been kept in form by DRUKPA FC staff. Vampire was a crucial part of Bhutan's Dragon squad. A lot of confusions, but as always to be expected given the experimentation the national team was committing to for the two friendlies. Not quite the best of performances we've seen, especially after coming off of a brilliant international win down in Guwahati, where Gelson had scored that wonderful brace with those two headers. But as always, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Devo, the Indian, has been solid for DRUKPA FC, missing his partner Barun this time around, but not quite missing it. The first touch is for Chong Lee. His signing not announced yet by DRUKPA, but if I'm not wrong, to believe he was signed over from Changwon FC, a tier 3 team in South Korea. But again, tier 3 in any other country is going to be a tremendous talent here in Bhutan. As Fahad right up in front, a challenge from Yishi Gelson. The second follow-up will clear it off. Brilliant timing, brilliant chemistry as well. Two bodies in the way of that shot. No airtime as it goes right the other way. DRUKPA FC forced to restart. Abdul Majid, the header, keeps it afloat. Chiminamgel. Slight miscommunication, poked out! Didn't quite have the reach to get proper technique on that effort, but did what he could to at least get a solid toe in. And the first proper presence from DRUKPA's new signing as Chong Lee. Unfortunate swerve on that ball, however, initially on target, simply curled off far to the right. But again, Dendum Namgyal, the reflexes to at least get a proper effort in as well. Not quite sure what the story would have been if that shot was on target. But couldn't have asked for a better effort from your goalkeeper. It's back to Dendum Namgyal, pressing up Philip Eugene. Outlet, out down the right flank. It is lobbed up high, header. Right back out, Yishi Gelson this time gets the chest in, but the challenge from Philip Eugene forces the captain to send it out wide. It is recovered, however. Ginzang cuts in, a heavy shove there from Devo, completely uncalled for, and an obvious whistle there for the referee as RTC gets a set piece in a dangerous area. Not the best of defensive efforts there. Minchin did have that shot covered, but Devo rushed in. Too much momentum, the inertia on fault there. As Kinzang knocked down, RTC will get the opportunity to get something out of this shot. Throughout the entirety of this league, we have seen no shortage of aerobics, drama, and fantasies coming to life through those set pieces. Knuckleballs, swerves, bullets, name it, we've had it all. And right now, RTC's turn, an opportunity to get something going. This is their home ground. They will want to redeem themselves in front of their crowd. Taking it, Kinzang Tenzin. There's the run-up, served in off the head of Philip Eugene, but still anybody's ball. That header sends it right back out. It is Chong Lee. Chased right behind him, RTC 4 hounds right at the back of his heel. But that whistle will set it right back. DRUKPA, now through Devo. Again, RTC have compacted, but that heavy touch from DRUKPA will not be the answer that they want going forward. Jigdral, he hustled to recover it in midfield and back the other way as Nathaniel Tete taking it slow. DRUKPA FC, their positioning excellent and their discipline as well. Only at the end of the first quarter of an hour right now, RTC and DRUKPA FC both looking alive. Both have gotten solid efforts off across towards each other's goalposts. Yes, Philip Eugene goes down. DRUKPA. It is Sishe again. His impact, that left foot gets it straight back out to Philip Eugene. It is Karma Jamsotashi. Right inside, Ishiwanchu gets the turnaround, poked right out, but a foot in the way. Too many bodies from RTC committed on that shot, and that will be the right answer going forward. As immediately back the other way, Minchin is beat on that race. But too strong, that challenge will earn a whistle for RTC, who otherwise looked dangerous. Kinzang Tenzin, brilliant burst of pace past Minchin, who slowly but surely caught up. Two whistles already for RTC deep inside DRUKPA territory, but again DRUKPA physically is one of the most dominant teams. Solid height and muscle distributed across the entirety of their roster, and no shortage of that in their centre backs as well. Bella, Minchin, Philip Eugene helping out in the back as well. Abdul Majid possibly the target alongside Nathaniel Tete, as Vampire the one taking it. A lot of options to choose from. Run up, delivery, back post, and too far out, just a touch too strong on that for any of his teammates to get a touch in. And it will be a goal kick for Sachin Jha and DRUKPA FC, who fight off yet another wave of attacks from RTC. Sachin Jha. Brilliant delivery up front. It is Pemzampo who gets a header in. Apologies, Chiminamgya. But off that rebound, DRUKPA FC cannot keep possession. And RTC now the other way. Fahad taking on that first assignment. A lot of options for RTC going forward. Defensively, it is an overload up on that flank. But hopefully they are not punished with a switch immediately down on that other flank. Vampire finds Jigdral, his wizardry, as alive as always. Again, typically in that winger position, but so far doing a solid job, struggling, but not really making any mistakes, and in fact making a lot of chances for his side. Has been a while since he got the call-up to the national team. But if he keeps his form up, it should not be that long. Despite his stature, his ability, his gift with the ball at his feet, and his blistering pace, a talent you cannot ignore for long. RTC now on that right flank. The work rate from Fahad on full display as he gets that ball right back from Nathaniel Tete. Delivered right inside. Philip Eugene, but taking on his man is Abdul Majid Shamate. Gets a clean foot in. Sends it off for a throw in for DRUKPA. Typically, you would expect to see Leon Sullivan-Taylor, who has a masterful power in his foot. But right now, not starting in his place is Chong Lee and Fahad Timuri. Also without Matthew Musa, who you would typically expect to see start for DRUKPA. Not quite sure what the exact details of that incident are. But it is Ishimonchu, who has so far again been brilliant, seeing no drop-off in terms of performance. It is still too early to tell. DRUKPA FC typically loves to savor their goals coming late inside matches. But right now they are taking their sweet, sweet time as Yeshe, the conductor of RTC's orchestra right now, hands it off to Abdul Majid. Will get it right back to the captain. Abdul Majid attempts to drive it in between, but Yeshe once you gets a proper foot in, claimed right back, Kilarabke. But not quite sure what the thought process was behind that as it heads right towards the Namge. And RTC's it is to return a slow game right now at RTC's artificial turf. Plenty of wins as DRUKPA FC gains possession in a crucial depth. And then a brilliant save there from Yeshe. Gelson did not let that shot into the box at all. A proper attempt from Philippe Eugene had the base. But will need much more than that. Karma jumps up, facing up off against his former team. He is a product of RTC. But so far doing a great job. Typically the issue with these institutions is the fact that you only have your players for a couple of years at best. It's the same issue for the academy teams, for both men's and women's sides. Kilifa Academy, BFF Academy, Ugan Academy, and even RTC, where once their players graduate and head off into the world, they are absorbed by the other teams. There's a yellow card on that antic by Karma Jamso. Not quite what you expect early on. It's usually only a story you tell at the end of the game when you want to stall for time. As RTC at the edge of the box, a lot of bodies in the way, do get a solid pass out, left foot. Not enough power, but it does cause that fumble for DRUKPA, and the right foot curled over. Sachin Ja off the crossbar. Nathaniel Tete heads it right back. Still inside the box. Zangpo flicks it off. But Devo gets that final flick off. Close calls there for RTC, who almost had the opening right here at home. But DRUKPA FC, brilliant job holding on. The first couple of fumbles, not their game plan, but they were Tokpam, no mistakes on that final touch. And now back the other way. Philippe Eugene, left footed, right in the middle. Easy read there for Pebila. Kinzang. The second whistle Kinzang Tenzin has managed to earn. The third whistle, in fact, he's managed to earn so far. And look at that amazing shot from Jimmy Namgil. Did not go in, but you have to appreciate the confidence, the guts, and the technique on that ball. Served right in over Sachin Ja. Simply a tad too much power. Their best effort so far. Momentum now on their side. DRUKPA FC's supporters have grown silent as Jigdral and Vampire at the ball. Vampire, left-footed, deftly lobbed in, and a header! Top corner, but Sachin Ja with the reflex to get it solidly in his grasp. And right back out the other way. Philippe Eugene, the target, gets contact off his back. As Ngong Yenten, brilliant job holding it in. And right back out Dindun Namgyal to restart for RTC. A silent stretch here as RTC looking to reflect, to take the time to retrospect on their earlier advantages that almost got them the opening. A brilliant bit of flair there. Driving circles around Karma jumps of Tashi. But that doesn't really get them anywhere. Abdul Majid, now the option to send it right down the line. Interception comes from Devo Atokpam, but lobbed up over. Jimmy Namgil cannot quite get to it before Min Shin. Well, an ambitious stretch there from RTC, but again, DRUKPA's backline challenged again and again. After a strong start, it seems like DRUKPA's momentum has finally died down. Otherwise, typically a very strong team, their midfield very capable, their forwards a threat for any defense the rest of the league has put up against them time and time again. But right now, RTC look like they have solved their issue. Aziz Shumanchu, take it deep on the left. The first proper opportunity for build-up from Fahad Timuri. Ambitious Hail Mary right down the middle, drives it, but it is a body of RTC. They meet, but back again the other way. Fahad cannot quite keep control. RTC now in possession. Sange is there. On the wing, Nathaniel Tete hands it right back out. But that pass back, simply inaccurate. Otherwise, a promising build-up, that quick connection had DRUKPA FC guessing for the longest time. But those the lacking finishing touches now gave possession back to DRUKPA FC. Philip Eugene dropping deep, handing it right back off to Devo, and the ball circulating in that back line. It is Bella. Solid in his long passing this time, makes that ping off to Ishe. But milliseconds off on that timing, it will be an offside call against DRUKPA, and RTC to restart. Again, a set piece in a long while. And too high up above. Also, sincerest apologies, the mic does seem like it stopped working. I was talking but didn't realize the mic was not working. Not quite sure how long it went on for. But back to the matter at hand. So far, a silent stretch. Both teams are testing each other out. Philip Eugene, not quite sure how serious the issue he's dealing with is right now. But so far, not quite enough to properly test Sachin Jha. Did have two solid opportunities. Philip Eugene gets that first touch off of Fahad right at the edge. Then the Namgyal solid save. Could have found a whistle there from Fahad, but Philip Eugene got a solid shot for himself nonetheless. Was a tight angle. And DRUKPA FC finally on the forefoot. It was RTC who put forth barrage after barrage. And finally, an escape, a brilliant pass right down the middle. Sangheyes sends it off to Chikral, who gets that flank opened up. A brilliant recovery from DRUKPA FC. Will send that ball out. DRUKPA to restart. Chikral had the vision there. Is playing out of position as well. Started playing in midfield from that last match of theirs against Timber City. And so far has been doing a brilliant job, not really seeing the struggles he faced in his first time at the midfield position. But finally seems to be going smoothly for the natural winger. Sachin Jha takes it long. Brilliant recovery. The clean challenge from Kilerapke onto Mazangpo, but it is passed right towards Hishi Kelsen, who is stepping up as well. The centre back out of position as well. A lot of changes in where they're starting. All around the 11 for RTC. But unfortunately will not be enough. DRUKPA knocked out of possession. RTC do have plenty of numbers to work with, but that left foot from distance might not have been the best choice in that situation, but it is Pemazampo after all. Sometimes, more often than not, does come up with that magic. And that is a range where he thrives in. As one more promising attack fizzles out for RTC. Still goalless and less than 10 minutes. Nathaniel Tete helping out deep. Got that first header off. Driving it right down to the ground and got it right off to DRUKPA. Jimmy. It is Devo gets that first touch. Fahad Temuri started off on that left. This time delivery solid from that right. A header will keep it underway for DRUKPA. Solid effort there. Brilliant throughout the entirety of that build-up kick started by Fahad Temuri. And Devo, but will need a bit more than that. It is a new squad they are working with. So far, DRUKPA FC, unlike most other teams, have not been able to work with a proper, solid starting 11. They did have 2 games where they could use the fullest of their potential. But since then, it was Min Shin who went down with an injury. It was Woo Kyung Yun who played on the wing starting in that centre-back position instead. And right now, they are not having their typical starting forwards. You typically expect Leon Sullivan, Burton Kangenbaum, John Miles, apologies, Matthew Musa as well, who are not starting. It is a new squad they are working with right now with Chong Lee and Fahad Timouri. There is one more in the bench if you guys missed the introduction. There's also one guy called Rehan Rajiv, 88 in DRUKPA FC's bench. Haven't been announced yet, but you should see those announcements in their page. So in the meanwhile, big thanks to our main sponsor, Bank of Bhutan, for giving us this tournament we can enjoy. Massive thanks to our internet partner, Bhutan Telecom Limited, our beverage partner, Coca-Cola, and to our new clothing partner, Hummel, who I'm sure you've all seen the brilliant designs as Bhutan went on their international duty. Especially that third kit, the black and purple one, my personal favorite. But yeah, much love to all our sponsors. Also, do subscribe to our channel here on YouTube and to our pages for both the men's and women's competition over in Facebook if you haven't already, for announcements, news, and updates with regards to every and all matches here in the league. This time, breached on that right wing. They do have options. Letze decided to take it himself, but Sachin Jha made that pass. Left foot cleared off inside the 6-yard box by Bella. The second clearance from Bella without the goalkeeper under the goalpost, and it is a crucial one at that too. Look again at that shot. Tete had options. Kinzang Tenzin making that run behind the penalty area, but it was mentioned in the way. Not many options there, but that follow-up solid. Unfortunate for him, went right into Bella, who was anticipating that shot the entire time. The discipline from the DRUKPA captain to hold down the fort when Sachin Jha is not there, and the score will stay level at 0-0. 5 more minutes to go. RTC with the corner. Well, not much fruition on that effort. Also, for our fans who are near in and around Bhutan, we do have Transport United ladies facing off against Paro Women's at 6 p.m. here in Changlemetang, down there in Changlemetang. So do drop by and give the ladies a support. Again, no lack of entertainment. Yesterday, we did have a masterful display of finishing and attack from RTC Women's, who forwarded 25 goals against a struggling United Funsling side. So do drop by. You never quite know what you're in for in the Women's National League Tier 3. As DRUKPA get a solid ball up. It is Kilir Abge who gets a left foot. It is deflected off of Abdul Majid, but still alive for Karma Jamto. His left foot, otherwise clinical, did not take many shots for 28 to find his hat-trick early on in DRUKPA FC's campaign. And right now, does look like he will need a little bit more calibration. RTC, it is through Jigdrill, had the wizardry in their last match versus Timber City. Had a magnificent run on that left flank. But this time, it is Babila, the captain, dropping up, and acrobatic header there from Bella. Almost parallel to the ground, but it is sent right back out to RTC. Ishi Kelson. A lot of options, a heavy overload on that right flank, but an immediate switch up onto that left. Brilliant adaptability from DRUKPA FC, adjusting to the movement from RTC, not taking the bait. Excellent discipline, and it will need much more. Bemazampo hands it right up Turn around from Jimmy Namgel. Breach pass, edge of the box, that left foot inaccurate. Multiple efforts from 14, but right now haven't really found a solid connection. His closest call, a shot swerved above Sachin Jha, but simply denied by the crossbar. Also, again, for the fans of DRUKPA FC, a lot of faces from their starting 11 on the bench. Leon Sullivan-Taylor and Matthew Musa not on the bench. Matthew Musa was supposed to start for this match, but last minute something happened, and then it was Hishi Wangchu instead who started for Matthew Musa. Also, a couple other names as well. A new signing, Rehan Rajiv, in the bench. John Miles Flynn and Barun Kangebam, who you typically see start for DRUKPA. Not in the starting 11 as well, but so far they have been holding on as long as they do not offer an advantage over to RTC. It should be a game well played. And RTC, quick connections there, but Pima Zangpo rushed that final touch a bit too much, but fantastic read there from Sangezer, and again RTC unable to keep hold of possession. At the 45-minute mark, we do have the signal for additional time. 1 more minute awarded for this match. Pima Zangpo, right in the middle. Sangezer an option, but his footwork will take him through. Left foot again, high up and above the crossbar. Multiple attempts from Vampire, but still taking his sweet, sweet time getting heated up. Normally, you wouldn't really see him take that many shots to see one finally fall on target. But they are struggling right now as the whistle signals the end of the first half. Solid outing from both teams, not really working with their strongest lineup. DRUKPA FC, again, as I said, not really the full lineup. RTC, on the other hand, do not have Sado, who had 2 goals in their opening match. He hasn't played in a while, hasn't started in a while. Said Jamal, not even on the bench as well this time around. But looking forward to see some changes as both teams right now simply clawing at the fringes of desperation. But until then, do let me know what you think the results for the second half will be like. Until then, this was your commentator, Ogunteshi Toji. Thank you guys for tuning in. Also, I do apologize for a couple of moments in between where the mic did seem to have some issues and was not projecting the voice towards the feet, but we are back in action. Do let me know if there are any issues you face with the broadcast. Until then, again, this was your commentator, Ogunteshi Toji. See you guys in the second half. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kuzangpo and Bokum, we have reached halftime here at RTC Artificial Turf. And while the scoreboard remains untouched, the match itself has been anything but quiet. It is RTC FC nil, DRUKPA FC nil, but this has not been a game lacking ambition. RTC in particular will feel that they have been the more threatening side. They have asked questions of the DRUKPA defense throughout the opening 45 minutes. Created a lot of solid opportunities, the better opportunities, and yet the score remains exactly where it began, because if RTC have been impressive going forward, DRUKPA FC have been magnificent at the other end. Again, a fantastic clearance without Sachinja on goal from Bella on that effort from Philip Eugene. Apologies, Nathaniel Tete. But as always, the league's surprise package showing another side of their character today. But right now, with that kind of collective determination, we head into the second half. The story feels delicately balanced. RTC searching for their breakthrough, for their football that they perhaps deserve. And DRUKPA, on the other hand, determined again with their crowd away. Determined to prove that strong defenses can be just as valuable. Again, a reminder as to what is at stake for this match. It is DRUKPA FC right now second in the table, right behind BFF Academy, a difference of 3 points. DRUKPA FC at 7, BFF Academy at 10. So a win here will be crucial going forward. They otherwise would have been in a much better position had it not been for Tirang with the upset of the tournament till date, getting that 1-0 victory over the otherwise brilliant DRUKPA FC. And RTC, on the other hand, in a three-way tie at 6 points, will want the 3 today to get them right behind BFF Academy with a point difference. A draw here will help neither. And RTC now in possession. Also to the fans near and around Thimphu. Later, we do have Transport United ladies who have made a plethora of signings, brilliant talents brought over from Nepal and Pakistan. And facing them off is Paro FC, who rumors suggest have signed a couple of international names to their squad as well, but they are yet to be announced. So do tune in or do come visit to show some love for the girls as they attempt to make a statement here in Changlemetang. Back to the match at hand. It is RTC still solid in possession again. Still look like they are resorting to their original game plan. Captain Yushe is playing up front. They do have Ugundoji on the wing, but decide to play it right down the middle. Nathaniel Tete cannot get the pass back from Ugundoji. Woo Kyung-yun has been downed. No call there from the referee, but it is still RTC in possession. Nathaniel Tete against Fahad with a brilliant challenge there. Still his possession. He was down, not quite sure when he got back up. Brilliant recovery it is as Chong Lee drives it way far out. Not quite sure if it is intentional, but DRUKPA FC are following it up with a smooth press up front, but right back in the hands of Denum Namgil. It is now back the other way. Both teams struggling to hold on to solid possession. Was the case in the first half as well. Seems like these issues are persisting in the second half. As in the midst of that chaos, again, RTC, Kinzang, do have a lot of options. Decide to lob it right up towards Sachin Ja, and that attack will fizzle out for them as well. To look like we will be repeating the story of the first half. Both teams did get a lot of shots off. Karmachamso, the hat-trick hero. Otherwise, a fantastic left foot this time is taking his sweet time, getting it acclimated to the ground and net up at RTC. Again, in the back, the ball boys for today, RTC Women's, who yesterday, again, if you guys were not aware, put up a 25-0 outing against United Fencing. A devastating watch, a devastating match, but it was a solid statement from their side. And right now, RTC, the men's side, struggling to get things going. They do have a 2-win, 2-loss record right now, 6 points to their name. But that will not be the footing and the foundation they want going forward deep into the season. They did have a spectacular season last year. But again, as has been the story for all teams, everyone is struggling. It has been a fairly balanced competition this time around, but no team taking clear advantage, as a duck there should have got a whistle on that first one, but the referee will blow it the other way around. And DRUKPA, Chongli has dropped deep, but Devo signals their players to post up long. That header right in the middle. It is Fahad with the recovery, has the space, right foot. Brilliant trajectory, but too close for that shot, as it simply flies up above the crossbar. Then Namgya fully extended as well. Again, one of the most underrated goalkeepers in this campaign, outshined by talents like Sachin Jha on the other end. Tikendra Singh has been brilliant, Sring Dendrup has been brilliant, Gelson Zangpo has been brilliant, Ochanyema has been brilliant, and Tanu Penja has been brilliant. Just names off the top of my head, but again, the plus side of this season, we are seeing a lot of local goalkeepers stepping up. Devo. It has been a brilliant campaign for the Indians so far on that wing-back position alongside Woo Kyung-yeon on the other flank. But this match has not really been the story they want going forward, as again a missed pass intercepted by Ogundochi, but Fahad clean on that recovery, has that one-on-one on that left, will cut it right back in the middle. Rabge, right back out. Fahad is against two, gets that pass out, and a shot! A finger on the ball, and Thenum Namgyal will keep things level, as DRUKPA with finally a decent effort on target as well. And this time it is with that right foot for Karmachamso. Karma definitely heating up, will be the one to take the corner this time around for DRUKPA. Played short. Rabge fakes that pass out, cuts right in, and chaos inside! Almost went in, but a desperate clearance at the last minute will send it right back out. Ishwanchu had the first touch, but cannot keep it alive. RTC now on an amazing counter-attack on that right side. Is Jimmy Namgyal cutting back in, but it has given plenty of time for DRUKPA to regroup. Vampire flicks it right back out. Nathaniel Tete sets up Kinzang on that left, passed right back out, and in the middle, it is Sishe stepping up on the left. Crossed in, but Minchin gets first contact and cleared off on that follow-up from DRUKPA FC. And RTC will have to restart this time against a compacted backline for DRUKPA. As Pema Zangpo Attempts a long shot yet again, but this time drives right into Chong Lee. Typically, we do see players who have had long tenures internationally, played in multiple leagues, but this time for DRUKPA, especially for Chong Lee, has only played since his youth in Korea. The highest he got to was Tier 3 of Korean football, played for Changwon FC. But this time his talents for DRUKPA. Yishe plays it right down the middle, Pema Zangpo lobs it up. Brilliant touch on that pass off to that left. Cut right in. Right foot. Not quite the best of efforts they could have gotten off as. Look at that. Min Shin could have had a tap in, but Yishe kills in with a response to Bella's clearance early on with one of his own. Almost rolled right in with that spin, but it will not be an opportunity they miss for long as DRUKPA get a lob in. But it will be far too off. And goal kick the other way around. Steadily approaching the hour mark. Still no conversion from both teams, but again, no fault of their offense. It has simply been each other's defenses that have shined through. Again, Devo, a bit too reckless, climbed right up on top of Kinzang. Again, inertia a factor, but should have kept himself under control on that effort. This time, it is Jigdrill. More of an angle for a cross. They do have solid targets as well. Abdul Majid, Nathaniel Tete, and even their captain, Babila, posted right up inside that box as Jigdrill gets a delivery right inside, a header. Cleared off by Woo Kyung-yeon. And Pema Zangpo, it is still as the attack still kept alive. Ishi Kelson loses that 50-50 against Kilirabge. Now Inten for the throw-in, plays it right back as RTC look to take it slow against DRUKPA. No clear answers forward. A draw will help neither side. A lot at stake in this mid-season run. Devo. Throw-in is retained. DRUKPA FC. Not much help in progressing that run, but again, a brilliant trap on that position from RTC. Simply boxed that ball in. But as a consequence, it is breached through, but will not be able to keep it alive. Ishiwachu's solid run, but that pass simply too far forward for anyone to get a touch in. As it is now with Denum Namgye for the goal kick. Tete. Possession. Left foot. Challenge of Philip Eugene. Throw in for DRUKPA. Well, at least it was promising for at least the first 5 seconds until it all crumbled as DRUKPA FC crept into RTC's half. Not quite sure what is happening with their squad, but since their last match, it does look like DRUKPA FC is breaking down and are yet to find a way back. Even if they get a win back in, they will not really be happy with the performance they are putting in. Bella, right down the middle. Minchin has been solid, shaky first 10 minutes for the centre back. A couple of loose tackles that gave a lot of open shots over to RTC. As this time, Fahad, brilliant series of step over, still has the physicality to keep possession. Right foot! And as has been the story of the game so far, all shots far off into the distance. Not quite sure if they are seeing any post behind the one that they are actually playing on. It does seem like there is a major distraction somewhere up and above the goal posts. Team Namgyal knocked down, but does manage to get that outlet off to Nathaniel Tete. Hands it off to Ugindochi, who cannot find an angle midfield towards Pema Zangpo. And DRUKPA now sharing the ball. Always helps when in doubt to get those touches across the entirety of your team. As it seems like Jimmy Namgyal is dealing with a little bit of pain from that challenge early on, where he was pinned around with that challenge from RTC. Again, it is RTC's home ground, but with the support that DRUKPA FC have gotten through their dedicated cheer section, does not really feel like they are playing an away game. Back in play. Fahad gets the delivery inside, possession still alive. Philip Eugene, the final touch! And it will be the opener we've waited for an entire hour. RTC not ready for that attack as Fahad Temouri this time releases it early on, and in the midst of that chaos, Philip Eugene finds a space past Dendrup Namgyal. And with that effort, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a game at hand. Look at that effort again, a failed header. Almost closed down on that shot as well. Sangyezer simply unfortunate, couldn't quite get enough power, entangled in that challenge against Yeshe. And in the midst of it all, it is Philip Eugene blessed with the opportunity to find the opener for DRUKPA FC. And with that, the score is finally 1 DRUKPA FC and nil for RTC. And half an hour of football to go. RTC should finally have been should finally be brought awake by that effort if they weren't already. Brilliantly shoved up by Chong Lee. It is on that right flank, cross delivered inside. Philip Eugene gets another touch in, but it will roll right out. Fahad gets it past Tendop, but cannot get a cross in. But off of his sheer effort and will to get it anywhere near does earn DRUKPA a corner to settle for. There again, almost flicked it past Ukintoji and then to Namgyal. A shaky first half for Fahad. Did have a lot of shots, did have a lot of successful dribbles, but couldn't quite create the impact that you need to win. But right now he has found his rhythm, he has found his momentum. Min Shin getting involved up front, taking the corner is Devo Atokpam. Lofted, back post. Min Shin, too slow to react, and RTC will send it out of bounds for a throw-in. Warming up on the sidelines on screen, it is Sardar Chakanov for RTC. It's been a while since he has started, but his presence up front as a striker had brilliant goals throughout RTC's campaign, especially to start 2 goals in his debut for RTC against Denso. And a replay on that goal again. These chances do not come by often. We have seen misses from point blank. As RTC look to get a reply in, but simply cannot against DRUKPA's solidified backline. Right up in front, final touch and a save. The second follow-up, too high. Brilliant heroics there from Dendum Namgyal, keeping RTC afloat and in this game. Almost felt the sensation of a goal coming in from DRUKPA. Look at that pass again. Brilliant build-up there. Finally a promising run we haven't seen in a long while. Courtesy of Sangi Rinchen, who was subbed in. Woo Kyung-yeon, in the midst of so many blue jerseys, Fahad committed to the tackle a bit too early, and the new sub for RTC, Nima Gelson, finds a clean outlet out. It is Pema Zangpo, has that overlap if he wants to take it, but left foot right down the middle to Devo. Not every day you see a mistake like that from Vampire. As Hishe gets a solid header in, has the physicality, no doubt, from his centre-back Regents to keep the press at bay from Karmajam Stashi. It's finally a whistle from the referee as evaluations underway for Fahad Timuri, who is down. Again, both teams have had high-scoring games. Highest goal scored for both teams right now, 4 goals. DRUKPA FC have done it twice. It was a 1-1 draw against City and a 1-0 loss against Sirang, so not quite the best of form for DRUKPA. On the other hand, for RTC, they started off strong, lost 2, even one at home where they were obliterated 4-0, and a win against City 1-0. But finally, their true forward subbed in, Sardar Jakhanov. Woo Kyung-yeon plays it right back to Bella, whose passes have been really accurate, but this time will not quite find the distance on it. We do have the wind to talk about as well. It is picking up that velocity, hard to fight against with the football. So they will need to adapt. Bella can't really reliably go for those long balls, no matter how accurate he is. He will need to read the wind. And it is against DRUKPA FC right now. Kamazangpo wins it right back. RTC still in possession, this time looking promising. They do have a lot to beat in that backline for DRUKPA FC, but it is a one-on-one. Chikral lets loose a cross inside. Bella keeps that ball tangled at his feet. And brilliant from the captain to send it out long. Again, Devo. A lot of reckless challenges from his side. And it is coming up against Kinzang Tenzin as well. So many times he's fallen down on those challenges from Devo. Does look like there is a rivalry brewing between the two. But hopefully it does not escalate into anything more than simple shoves and a handshake at the end of this match. 20 more minutes to go. DRUKPA FC in the lead with 1 goal. And RTC, the responsibility to find the equalizer on their shoulders. Solid header there from RTC. Will send it right back out. Chon Lee finds that angle to get that pass off right down the middle. Karma. Clean challenge from behind, and RTC back the other way out. This time in transition, they do manage to get that ball towards their sub, Nyuma Kelson. Powerful drive right in, but too heavy on that touch. Does get that challenge right back. Ugintoji back to Pemazangpo. Has the flair, has the footwork, has the space, but the shot way off target. And RTC will have to find another answer to DRUKPA's lead. Seems like he will not be able to continue on that earlier challenge against Karma Jamsuteshi. Sange is there, otherwise a brilliant first half has been really crucial. Interesting to see who will be brought in to cover for him. Well, with that, we resume play. Sachin Jha with the goal kick has signaled the entirety of his team way past the center line and deep into RTC territory, looking to get that ball. Philip Eugene, clean challenge from behind. Ngong Yantin Kinzang will send it down. Now back the other way. Again, a lot of injuries, simply speaking to the volume of physicality that are being presented against each other here at RTC Artificial Turf. Hopefully it is nothing major so far. It has been a crucial matter of simply holding on, and any drop in form may prove detrimental to each team's run. DRUKPA FC a 1-0 lead, but by no means a safe advantage as the stretcher is being brought in. As it seems like Philip Eugene will not be able to continue on with the match, the only goal scorer so far, and he is being carried out in the stretcher. Again on screen, the ever so chaotic DRUKPA FC's fan base bringing whatever they can to get in the hands of their opponents, and they look like they are having fun in the midst of it all. Nice to see such devoted fans cheering on for your team, as DRUKPA will send it out long. Fahad did try his best, but too far out, will not be able to keep it on. Sardor back off to Denum Namgyal. DRUKPA reckless press there, but that does create enough chaos to cause some sort of panic for the RTC goalkeeper. And there it is. The man who carried DRUKPA FC throughout the entirety of their qualifiers. The first appearance for their number 7 as Kencho Topgay makes his debut in the BoB Bhutan Premier League for DRUKPA FC. His first touches. It's a clean pass out to Fahad. Brilliant footwork there from Fahad. Gets it right out. But it is right towards Chikdril. The Mazangpo. Again, struggling in the middle. There is a fallen Jong Lee, but play will build on. Nima Kelson on that right one-on-one. Cannot get past Bella. Masterful defending there from the DRUKPA captain. Nima Kelson is down. And again, a lot of injuries for both teams, as this time Fahad calling for help. And on the other end is Numa Gelson. Again on screen, Yakam. Haven't seen him in a long while. His name has been on the bench. His partnership with 66 for DRUKPA FC, Shewanshu, was a lethal duo that got them through the qualifiers. Almost had a close call with that controversial match against Tempo FC, where the equalizing draw was put forth by a player not registered in their squad list. But nice to see him back. Hopefully he has kept himself in shape and in form. Did see an interview of his in DRUKPA FC's page. Oh, nice to always see a hands-on approach towards running a club. But as a player, well, always nice to see him back as well. As now back the other way, again was clutching at his legs. Chong Lee ends his debut, carried out in a stretcher at the 78th minute. RTC looking to break through with their pace. They do so. Sachinja gets a hand on that final drive. Look at that run again. Jigdral too quick for everybody. And even on that save, Sachinja rolled it a bit too far forward. RTC looking for the quick restart inside the box. Gets a delivery in, but a header will send it right back out. Looking to keep it alive. They do have momentum with that masterclass from Jigdral. Again, has been the sole spark of life throughout the last two campaigns for RTC. And right now looking to do the same. Kenchtopge has the energy to put that pressure up early. Always nice to see that sort of energy defensively from your forwards. But it is now switched up. Now Nyenten lobs it up. It is Nyima making that run on that right flank. It is a one-on-one against Bella and an unsuccessful story. The third time in a row for Nyima as Bella, the kryptonite to his runs. Woo Gyong-yun. Well, it was promising up until it reached the center line. But right now it is back with Dendam Namgil, who lets it roll right down the middle. RTC. Brilliant fake there. Gets it past the first. Now on the right, Sador involves early. Now Nyenten will get that pass right down the middle. Kinzang. Not enough power on that. It will roll out for DRUKPA, who clears it off. Substitutions underway as DRUKPA's new signing. Rehan Rajiv, 88, coming in. So is 17. Pup coming in for Chong Lee. DRUKPA promising. Here comes Smart to let it roll. Shot from Pupdoji creates enough confusion and too strong to lob it past Dendam Namgil. But the flag was up and that attack will be nullified. Look at that again. That first pass created enough confusion, but position too far out. As that ball now back the other way. RTC do have a pace advantage against Minchin, who is finally back after stopping. Well, a fair bit of intervention there from the referee. As this match heating up, less than 10 minutes remain. RTC yet to find an answer. It is Sador taking that corner. Does seem like there are a couple of words being exchanged right inside that box. Hopefully it stays lyrical only and not physical. It is the new sub for DRUKPA, Rehan Rajiv. But with that, we have to whistle. RTC with one of their last chances delivered in. Strong header from DRUKPA will send it right back out. Kenchtopge. Solid header, keeps it in stride, but met with perfection from RTC. And DRUKPA forced to restart from a throw-in, but man is down. lot of injuries as we close out this match. And it is DRUKPA FC bearing the brunt of it all. RTC did have to make a couple of substitutions for themselves, but at the rate DRUKPA FC is going, it has mainly been their foreign signings. Their new foreign signings as well that are struggling, especially with the altitude up here at RTC's home ground. Simply struggling to keep their form that active for the entirety of the match. But with that, we do resume with the throw-in from Devo Atokpa. Played right down the line, cannot quite keep it alive. Back to Sardor. Easy pass over to the right flank. Again, not really an avenue they want to go down. That matchup between Yuma Gelson and Bella has been completely one-sided, and it has not been in favor of anybody wearing blue. However, the story has been different on that left flank. Jigdrill has the pace, but this time he is posted deep at the edge of the box. Pemazangpo. Too much ambition on that flick. It will roll right off, but RTC, fortunate enough, get that throw in back. Again, a reminder as to what is at stake right now as Jigdrill gets a solid shot off! Masterclass and wizardry from the magician himself. And Jigdrill, as I said, the heart of RTC's life. And he continues to do so with a brilliant strike at the 86th minute. Again, sheer disrespect from DRUKPA FC, giving him that much space. And he makes it in on his first try from that distance. What a shot it was! Completely caught Sachin Jha and the entirety of DRUKPA's backline off guard, and we have a game at hand. A loss, too detrimental. A draw, not the best of opportunities as we have escalations going on that wing. It is Woo Kyung Yun against Nong Yen Tin. As this time, Min Shin dropping in. It was slow to start, but the center back does not look like he will be having it. Not really liking the words being thrown out at his backline partner and his Korean counterpart. As the referee loading up that yellow card will call the players involved. It is mainly Woo Kyung Yun and Nong Yen Tin to start it. As a red card for Woo Kyung Yun. And DRUKPA FC will fight off the last couple of minutes. Down a man. And the yellow card, it seems like it is for Min Shin. Well, seems like a red card was thrown to Nong Yen Tin as well. Not quite sure if there was a swing. Woo, discipline, did have his arms in the back. And look at that Min Shin all the way from the behind, simply shoving everyone in his path. And it seems like both teams will play down 10 men. And the yellow card for the bench of DRUKPA as well. As this game heating up in the dying minutes. Well, after all that chaos and pandemonium, we are back with the throw-in for RTC. Breach pass on that right. A favorable matchup this time around for Nima Gelson, who does not have to deal with Bella. But we'll get that outlet off. Pema Zangpo with the flare. Rolls it right above Kinlerapke. And Sardor. Again, momentum on their side. 6 more minutes to work with. Sardor. Back to Ishe. Drives it right down the middle. Heavy challenge there from Min, taking no risks. Also, apologies if you only heard the first part, but I did apologize and clarify that RTC got a red card as well. So it is only 20 men playing instead of 22. As RTC fight off yet another promising build-up from DRUKPA. Again, a replay at the fantastic finish from Jigdrill. Right as RTC saw their windows shutting down, their doors closing, as has been the case in their last 2 games. Can it be Jigdrill again that will hand RTC yet another 3 points? A lot at stake right now. Emma flicks it right past, slowly and steadily at the edge of the box, but a foot in the way from Reha Rajiv. Close goal there for RTC, but Sachinja now back the other way around. Not much time remain, a bit more than 2 minutes until the end of this match, and the referee decides to blow the whistle. But again, given the quickness of both teams in getting that ball right towards the opposition net, shouldn't really need that much. Skellen gets it right back. Sardor deep inside. It's a clean lob off on that left flank now. They have had a lot more success just right down the middle and on that left, but this time they will try again from distance. Not quite on target. But DRUKPA FC will have to, at this point, after that wizardry from Jigdrill, will have to respect the efforts coming from distance. DRUKPA win possession back. But that final pass, a lot of angles open to him, but had to send it right towards Isha Gelson, who was simply waiting for it, and now back the other way. RTC, a fumble from their side as Bella, the captain, takes it up himself, but cannot get an accurate pass out again. Jigdral. And again, another pass misfires right towards the opposition as Dave Otokpam. Ketan. Not much time remain, any second now. DRUKPA in possession. Could get one last opportunity to take it up front. But that will be the end of the story here at RTC Artificial Turf. As with brilliance from Jigdral, we end the game 1-1 and a draw to each team as DRUKPA FC extend their lead from 7 to 8, and RTC move right up alongside Paro FC and in 4th place. As they find one more point to break the deadlock they have right now between Transport United and Tsirang. It was a silent first half, but an explosive breakthrough from Philip Eugene and Jigdral gave the fans what they want. A little bit of a cheeky scuffle here and there, but luckily didn't really escalate much. Bella and Isha Gelson credited with a goal line clearance each in this match. Masterful defending from their side, but does not really seem like the drama has ended as the referee with a yellow card. Well, hopefully that is it for the match. Hopefully that is enough for the referee. A little bit of an appeal there from Kinzang. But with that, again, this was your commentator. We end the match between RTC and DRUKPA FC with a draw at 1 goal each. Until then, again, the ladies are playing down at Changlimitang. So if you're near and around, to drop by to give them a support. Show them some love. Until then, that's it. See you guys later.